The McRib is back, baby. Well, not really, but we're gonna make something better today. Let's go. What's up, everybody? It's James with JB Sous Vide, and I'm so glad you're back. If you're here for the first time, this channel is dedicated to bringing you high-quality sous vide cooking that you can do in your own home. If that sounds like something that you would be interested in, hit that subscribe button down below. And make sure you click that bell so you get notified every time we drop a new video. Today, we're pretending that I don't have access to a smoker. Years ago, when I started my journey with sous vide, this was my reality. So if I wanted to do something like ribs, I had to adapt. And I soon found out that with sous vide, you can make great indoor-style ribs without ever touching a smoker. And that's what I'm going to show you today. And the perfect application for these indoor ribs? A boneless rib sandwich. Now, one thing to note here is I am using baby back ribs. You can use St. Louis, but I prefer to use baby backs for this application because of the long, continuous bone that I can just pull out easily. We're starting out here with a rack of meaty baby backs. The first thing we'll do is flip them bone side up. You want to make sure to remove the membrane. As you can see there, mine's already been removed. If it hasn't, go check out my last rib video where I show you how to remove it. Moving into our prep, I'm going to cut them into sections. How do I know how big to make them? Well, I held the ciabatta roll I'm going to use over the top of the rack and gauged how big I needed to make them. Once they're all cut, I'm going to salt them generously on all sides. Now, because we're not using a smoker, we're going to have to find a workaround. I learned this trick from Chef Steps back in the day. A little liquid smoke and molasses. We'll take about 2 tablespoons-ish of liquid smoke, 1 tablespoon-ish of molasses, and mix them together. Then we'll come back to our ribs and brush it on. I don't go crazy here. If you wanted to not brush it on, in the past I've poured a little bit into the bag and it's worked out fine. You don't want to use it all now though. We'll need some for later to apply before we finish them. Then we're going to place them into some Ziploc style bags and bring them over to the bath. When you're cooking at this high of a temperature, you always want to put your lid on. Evaporation is real and it could be a cook killer. As I've mentioned in my other rib videos, the time and temperature for ribs that you find online are wild. I think people are doing them for way too long. Much more recently, I've been doing my St. Louis style cuts at a higher temperature for a shorter amount of time. These being baby backs, you got that loin meat to watch out for, so I kind of scaled it back this time. I chose 170 for these baby backs because I wanted that loin meat to still be moist while also letting those bones still pull out in the end. Alright, now we're going to prep everything else that we're going to need for this sandwich. First up is going to be some pickled jalapeños and red onions. In a big, meaty sandwich like this, acidity is definitely a must. I'm going to start with a whole red onion. I'll cut it in half and cut the root and the other side off. I'll remove the outer skin layer, then start slicing the onion what they call pole to pole or north to south. With pickled red onions, you want your slices to be as thin as you can get them. This helps the process move along a little quicker. We'll also slice up 2 jalapeños. You can definitely try and keep the seeds out if you want, but I like to leave them in for a little bit more spice. Then I'm going to take a large container. Here I'm using a mason jar and put all of my onion and jalapeños in. Now this part is optional, but I like to give it a little more flavor. So I'm going to put in 1 diced garlic clove and some black peppercorns. Over on the stove I have a small pot and I'll add a half a cup of water, a cup and a half of apple cider vinegar. Also added 3 tablespoons of sugar and 2 teaspoons of salt. We'll bring that to a simmer and then cut off the heat. Bring that over and pour it on top of our onions and peños. We'll pop the top down and just let that cool and do its magic. They should be good about an hour or 2 in. Sauces, another important ingredient in any delicious sandwich. I don't like smothering these ribs in barbecue sauce. I feel like it muddies the flavors too much, and in my opinion, I just like to go light on it. So I'm going to make a roasted garlic aioli. This is a great condiment to have lying around. It's delicious and goes with anything. I've got a head of garlic and I'm going to slice a piece off the bottom. and expose those inner cloves. I'll then bring in a sheet of foil and place it in the center. A little salt, some extra virgin olive oil, and I'll wrap it up and pop it in the oven at 400 for about 30 to 40 minutes. Start with a half a cup of mayo, bring in our roasted garlic and squeeze that in. Pinch of salt, cracked black pepper, drizzle of Worcestershire sauce, squeeze a lemon, half teaspoon of cayenne, teaspoon of Dijon mustard, and then I'm just going to use my immersion blender to make it smooth. You could also just mix this normally and leave some nice chunks in there. Last element, bun selection. You need something that's going to be soft yet still hold up. For me, that's a ciabatta roll. I'm going to cut them in half, and then I'll coat them with a light amount of mayo to help them toast. I'll take them over to a pan on medium heat and toast them till they're golden. Our ribs are out of the bath, and the first thing we need to do is pull these bones out. Normally you can push on either side here and they'll slide out. If not, you could just go and twist them like this. And if that's not working, you can always cut them out. See, the others are coming out a lot easier. Before you move on, you just want to make sure you run a finger over the top. You don't want any bone fragments in there. Now that our bones are out, we're going to bring back our liquid smoke mixture. We're again going to brush some on, and then we'll start applying our rubs. Today I'm using some Meat Church Holy Gospel and Holy Cow. We'll give them a nice generous coat, and we're going to place them on a wire rack and put them into a 450 degree oven for about 5 to 10 minutes. Now to assemble. We're going to add some roasted garlic aioli to both sides of the bun. A good amount of pickles. Bring back our boneless ribs. Look at that beautiful color. Then add some pickled jalapeños. And then the red onions. Top it up. And a cross section for the people. All right, let's see how we did here. I'm pretty excited. Been a while since I've had a McRib. Let's see if it's gonna beat it. I think it will. Whoo-hoo-hoo, look at that. That is crazy. Oh, juicy. Let's take a bite. Wow. Oh my God, that's good. The roasted garlic, the barbecue sauce, the acidity from the jalapeños, and the red onions. Oh, so delicious. Oh, I gotta have another bite here. And those ribs are phenomenal. Oh my God. Oh, a little bit of smokiness there. You know, it's not like it's just come off the pit, but it is there. Delicious. Really, really like that. And there it is for everybody who doesn't have access to a pit, to a smoker. You too can have really delicious ribs. If you got something out of that video, go give it a like down below. Hit that subscribe button and go watch some of the other videos we got on the channel for you. I'll catch you on the next one.